Welcome to the All About You podcast. I am your host Sheila, and today we have a summer special podcast because we are talking about protecting your skin from sun damage. And my guest today is Jesus. Jesus, welcome to the podcast.
Hello Sheila, thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Well, I'm very excited because you know your stuff, because we're going to be talking about skincare in general, and we're going to be talking particularly about looking after and protecting your skin in the summer. Mm-hmm. And you are working for one of the main pharmacies in Valencia, and you are specialising in what we call pharma skincare.
Yes.
And what we mean by that, we are not talking about the big brand cosmetic companies. We are talking about companies who specialise in skincare. There's no fancy packaging, there's no celebrity endorsement. You are getting a lot of high-tech product for your money. So you are the right person here. Good value for money. Let's start at the very beginning though. Summer skincare is very, very different to winter skincare.
Yes.
Let's just talk about what is the difference between winter and summer. What should we be focusing on?
Okay, so I think mainly textures. A lot of people use different cream textures for summer and winter. They normally use the same cleanser, then they'll use a serum. Serums are quite light, they're quite easy to go on, the skin absorbs them quite quickly. But then the creams, normally the brands have different textures of creams. They have a cream or like a rich cream or a gel cream. So normally people either skip a step, for example, if it's a really hot, humid day in Valencia, and you just finished a day walking around the city and you just get home and it's hot and humid, you might just want to take your makeup off, then use a nice easy cleanser, then put a serum, and then that's it. But if you still want to do the whole routine, you might do cleanser, serum, and instead of using your normal cream, use a cream with a gel texture. It can be from the same brand, from the same line that you're using, but just use a different texture, and actually it does the same thing. You might notice a bit less nutrition, but you don't need as much nutrition. One of the things that obviously you should change in your summer skincare routine is that. Another very important thing is add more SPF, or add different SPF than the one that we use in the winter.
Now this is where I'm beginning to feel a bit guilty. Our body is made up of a huge, I can't remember the exact, but we are made up of 80% of water. In the summer, we are drinking water like fish. We are hydrating our skin a lot more than we do in the winter, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
And we're generally putting on sun cream on our body, so we're actually putting moisture into our body on the top layer as well, which maybe we're not doing in the winter, or we're using different types of creams. Yeah.
But in the summer we do sweat a lot too, so all of that water is coming out as well.
So as fast as we're putting it in, it's coming back
absolutely,
out again.
You're dehydrating yourself. Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people think, okay, I'm putting on sun cream, I'm drinking lots of water, that's it, I don't need to do any more. In the summer, skincare, is it more important? I think it is, because you have got the sun.
Yes. Well, the SPF part of it is more important because not every SPF is the same.
Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Right, the floor is yours.
So, you can see an SPF 50 of one brand and then see SPF 50 of a different brand in a different shop. And you think this is the same. You have to look at the UVA protection of that product, and you have to look at if it covers a broad spectrum, what we call broad spectrum, which is UVB, UVA, visible light and infrared. Us living in Valencia with this sun and this UV radiation index, we should always use it every year, all year round, a broad spectrum one, but especially in the summer.
Now, I must admit, I did a little bit of research for this podcast this morning, because UVA and UVB. Okay, what is the difference? So my understanding, UVA is to do with skin aging, and UVB is to do with skin burning. The sun in Valencia is incredibly strong. I'm originally from the UK. I now have the utmost respect for the sun, but we see it all the time. People come from other countries, lay on the beach for 8 hours, and then they are red, they blister, their skin is dry, they're in pain. So many people do not have respect for the sun.
Absolutely. I mean, and those are extreme cases, and thankfully we don't see them very often. You know, we do see people come into the pharmacy when they're already burned and do something for me, and then some of them, very extreme cases, we had to say you have to go to A&E. We have some really good products. Also, not all after suns are the same. I won't talk too much about it, but some of them regenerate the skin, you know. So, for example, there's one from La Roche-Posay called Postelios, which is not just an after sun that prolongs your bronze look on your skin, it also regenerates that skin. So, obviously, if you just want an after sun to hydrate your skin because you've been on the beach all day but you've not burned yourself, we'd give you a different one than if you were red. Then if you were burnt, then you would have to refer you to someone else, you know, to an A&E or to a doctor. But so UVA, as you well said, is skin damage in terms of aging and sunspot damage. UVB is the ray frequency of ray that will burn you. It's really interesting. I don't know if you've seen this picture online about a truck driver that was, obviously, he drove on the, I think he was a European one, he drove on the left, he drove his car on the left side of the vehicle,
yeah,
like we do in Spain. So obviously half of his face was exposed to the sun and half wasn't. Now, he wasn't burnt because UVB rays did not trespass glass, yeah, but UVA rays do. So it was really interesting to see that half of his face was wrinkled, like severely wrinkled, and it just dehydrated, and it was damaged. And the other side, he hadn't taken care of his other side very well, but at least he hadn't been exposed to the sun. That just shows you. I mean, if you put online truck driver damaged sun face, you'd immediately find that picture. That just shows you, because people say, oh, I'm not going to put SPF because I'm not going out in the sun, or I'm not going to go to the beach. I'm not going to the pool. I'm not going to lay in the sun. Yeah, but just by you leaving your house, you are exposed to UV radiation, even if it's not the UVB, you know, which is the one that can burn you, but you can still be damaged in terms of aging and sunspots, etc.
I think one of the things which I found absolutely fascinating is when I was looking at aging is, number one, it's sun damage, number two is smoking. Mm-hmm. We have got a choice on both of those. But I think, as you say, not all SPFs are equal. And I think every year we open our bathroom cabinet. Oh, I got a bottle left over from last year.
The leftovers, don't let get me
started. And we look at it and we go, it's, 6 months or whatever. And we think, oh, well, it's half a bottle left over. I'll use that. They do have a shelf life, don't they?
They do. And actually, this is really important, which we can all check on in our products. All products have something at the back called PAO. Period after opening, and that's super interesting actually. And they all have different SPFs tend to have the same one, which is normally 12 months. Some have 9, some have 6, depending on if they're specific for a specific thing you want to work on your skin. But a normal SPF normally tends to have a 12 months. So a lot of people think that because the best before date says December 2028, the minute you open it, you cannot look at that best before date. You have to look at your PAO, and it's normally a little circle at the back and at the bottom of the product that says 12 or 6 or 9 or 3. That's super important to know, because if you put it on, it's going to be okay for your skin. Like, you're not going to just suddenly your skin fall off, but it's not going to protect the
it's not
same.
Going to be as effective.
It's not going to be as effective. The protection level is going to decrease on that.
I think we're all guilty, aren't we, of opening our bathroom cabinets this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. Well, we all are. Yeah. I try to not do it. But for example, if I've seen an SPF that I opened last year, because I got this SPF specifically because, they do lots of types of different sunscreen protection. There's now specific for oily skin and specific for rosacea, specific for sunspots, anti-aging. If I open one because I had a bit of an acne,
had a bit of reaction.
Yeah, had a bit of a reaction to something, and I only used it for 2 weeks because it cleared out. and then I see it at the back of my cupboard a year after, I wouldn't put that product to go to the beach. I wouldn't put that product to go and lay in the sun because I know it's lost its effect. But we all want to be able to use that product. We don't want to just chuck it in the bin, no? So what I would use it for is for an everyday, go to work, not going to lay in the sun, come here. We have these windows here right now which are letting in UVA rays. We've got to be protected, so at least put it on for certain times of your day or of your life, but not the ones that you're going to be exposed to the maximum amount of radiation. Then you need one that's healthy, a healthy SPF that's going to protect you.
I mean, that's interesting what you say, because what I would do with my half bottle, I would use that for my legs and arms.
Also, that's a fantastic idea.
The good stuff goes on the face.
The good stuff goes on the face.
The legs and arms don't tend to age as much as our faces do. So 100%. I'm happy to buy a new product for the face.
Well, that's because they're less exposed, aren't
exactly.
they? If you think about it, I sometimes think about, when we all get our legs out in the summer, we're like, oh, they're nice. The skin is firm. They look nice. And then you think, well, why does my face doesn't look the same? And it's because our face is exposed daily to smoking, if you smoke, to pollution. Urban areas like we live in, highly polluted. Yeah. That is awful for the skin. It's really bad. And, that's why the layer of pollution just accumulates in the skin. If we don't cleanse our double cleansing, we talk about this a lot. Mm-hmm. Double cleansing means doing 2 steps to clean your face at the end of the night. Not just one. If you do one, fantastic. But if you do 2, you'll see a big difference. Either an oil or a micellar water, and then a soapy, foamy product, and that will get rid of all the pollution, all the sunscreen, all the products that you have in your face.
I mean, there's one thing I really owe you a lot for, because we have lots of conversations about skincare. That's our thing when we get together. And one thing you said to me, Sheila, never do your skincare routine as you're going to bed. When you've had dinner, next thing, literally, go and do your skincare. Do it when you've got time, enjoy it, use the products. Do not do it when you're half asleep and you're doing a bit of a slapdash, half effort. I credit you with that, absolutely, because every time I think, no, Jesus told me straight after dinner, go and do your skincare.
Well, that's super important, because we get a lot of clients come to the pharmacy and they ask for a day cream or for a sunscreen, and then I'm like, what do you use at night? And then, no, I don't do my routine at night because I haven't got time, or I'm too busy, or at night I'm just too tired. And then we always tell them, but at night means when you've just come home from a day of work. It can be at 5 p.m, it can be at 2 a.m, it can be at 6 p.m, any time. But when you come home and you're not going to leave your house again and you're going to unwind, do it then. Start, and you don't have to do it all quickly. You can just cleanse your face and then just put some Cordially probiotic grape water, and then leave that for 20 minutes, and then go and do your eye contour, because eye contour always has to be the first step after cleansing, and then leave it a couple of minutes, and then go and put your serum, and then it's hard, and you've got to love your skincare to do that. A lot of people just don't have the willpower to do that, but you just see it differently, and you're putting on every product, and you are consciously putting on every product rather than just slapping it on quickly, which is what happens to me in the mornings. So in the mornings it's like, right, quickly, serum, antioxidants, cream, SPF, leave. I'm guessing you have days like that too.
Oh, absolutely.
We all do.
Absolutely.
But at night time, it's a skincare, but it's also like a self-care.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, enjoy that time.
Enjoy that time.
And as you say, you don't have to do it all in one go. Do a little bit, go off, and then come back to, And the thing is as well, the longer you're putting these products on your skin and leaving them for, you're getting more time for them to do their job, as opposed to putting everything on all at once and everything's trying to react. It's a night, let one thing sink in. Okay, that feels nice. Okay, now I'm going to do a little spray.
Absolutely.
Okay, that feels lovely.
It's just taking care of your skin and of yourself. And also it kind of just like slows down your rhythm. Also, like, right, I'm going to go, I go down and then I go up and I put a product, and I go down and I go up. My husband Cameron is like, oh, are you going up again tomorrow? to put another product. And sometimes I bring them down to the...
and he rolls his eyes.
And then I tell myself, right, I'm going to water the plants, and then I'll put this product, and then I'm going to start dinner, and then I'll put this product. And I understand that takes effort and time, and obviously when I first started taking care of my skin, I did not do that. I literally, before I went to bed, I just washed my face and maybe put a product. We're talking like 6 or 7 years ago when I didn't take care of my skin. But now, the more you get, it's addictive. Skincare is addictive. The more you get into it, you want more and you want the latest. Actually, I wanted to tell you something about SPF, that they're not all the same, because it made me think something you said, and it was the fact that every year we go to conventions of these really, I guess the 3 major brands in skincare in Spain, or 3 of the major brands, which are Estée, Eliocare and La Roche-Posay. We go, and every year they've discovered something new. It's forever changing. Last year, La Roche-Posay sunscreen filter, 50 plus, but not all 50 plus are the same either. It covers up to 400 nanometers of the rays, of the UV radiation, which are the ones that damage our skin the most. And no other sunscreen had gone past 370. So, this is very technical stuff, obviously, and we don't need to get into that. But what I mean is, they are pushing further every time. More protection, better protection with better textures, which is, at the end of the day, what people want. It's all very good to have the best science and the best protection if you're going to slap it on and it feels horrendous on your face. You know what I mean? These brands want to get the latest, most product that protects them most, but that feels the best on your skin. But also, something that's very important is how well we apply these products. Because it doesn't matter you have an SPF 50 plus, if you're applying it scarcely, it's not going to work, it's not going to do it. If you have an SPF 20 and then applying it generously, much better. Because I see a lot of mums and dads putting sunscreen on their little ones on the beach. They're just really not putting on a lot.
And the other thing is they put it on and the kids go straight in the water.
Straight in the water. You got to put it generously, and also you got to put it at least half an hour before you are going to be exposed to the sun. So put it at home, and you're not dealing with the sand and everything. If you're going to be on the beach or in the pool, just pop your t-shirt off, put your sunscreen at home, let it all properly absorb into the skin, then go to the beach, and then after every single time you go in the water, you need to reapply. A lot of people tell me, but so what's the point in water resisting sunscreens? Well, they will protect you inside the water and they will protect you outside the water, but they have lost its efficacy. They're not going to protect you as much as they had. That means that, water resistant SPFs are great, and sweat resistant are great for people that do a lot of sports and for kids or people that love to be in the water all the time. I mean kids, because kids, love being in the water and don't think about coming out ever. So they're great for those kinds of people, but you have to reapply. Sweat, yes, if you're a runner or if you like to work out outside and you're exposed to the sun, there's some fantastic products now. When I go to the beach, I rarely go to the beach, but if I go to the beach, I probably go to the beach with about 6 or 7 different SPFs. And I know that's hardcore. That's hardcore, but there should be one for every minute. So a broad spectrum for the face, which obviously already applied at home. And I don't like sprays. I like sprays that you can physically see the product coming out, and then you can absorb it in. Invisible sprays are dangerous. I do use them. I use them a lot, but I use them to reapply. I don't use them for the first layer of sunscreen, because also if you're applying it on the beach when there's loads of wind and everything, it goes everywhere but on your skin. You got to make sure you apply either a hydrating SPF 50 cream. They have these these trigger packs. Those ones that you can see. The liquid is white. You can see where it's going. You can apply it. You can, especially for kids, that's super important. take the spray, take the invisible spray, because it's so easy for reapply. You come out of the water, put that invisible spray, because you already have some other layer, but put it on. And then obviously it's really important, an invisible spray for the face. A lot of people ask me, can I use the same spray for the body and for the face? Well, you can. And as in, I'd rather you use that than don't use anything. But those sprays that you use on the body have alcohol in them because they're aerosols. They're not good for the face.
Because alcohol is actually drying for the skin, isn't it?
It dries the skin, yeah, for sure. And, you just use one specific for the face, because skin in the face is much more sensitive than the skin on your body. That's why it's also, people ask me, can I use my normal sunscreen, my body sunscreen for the face? Well, again, it's better that you use it that you don't, but it's not formulated for the face. Therefore, if you suffer from rosacea, from acne, from
sensitive skin,
anything like that, you put that on your face, and your face is going to...
Yeah.
It's not going to like it.
I mean, years and years ago, there was basically thick, white, gloopy sunscreen. It smelt disgusting. It was all chemical smell. But that was basically what we had. Now we have so much more information about pollution, sun damage, and these companies have done amazing. In one way, it's made it more complicated. We walk in and there's a wall of different products, different brands, all the numbers, and what the heck does it all mean? But I think it's very interesting what you're saying is spend your money on your face and slap last year's sunscreen on your legs and body, and then when you're ready to buy another one, put your money basically where your mouth is, on your face.
Well, absolutely. It's super important.
And I think it's so important about apply it at least half an hour before you go to the beach. I think a lot of people get down to the beach, as you say, you see it all the time, these clear aerosols, and it's like, madam, please just give me the €20 and you just go in the sea, because they are throwing their money away.
And it's the reapplying. I mentioned that you have to reapply every time you have either sweated a lot, gone in the water, or like have sand all over you. But also, even if you just laid there and you've not been exposed to any of these things we've mentioned, at least every 2 hours you've got to reapply. Even if you've just literally not sweated, not been in the water, you just stood still, you've got to reapply every 2 hours.
Let's talk about what I call farmer brand skincare as opposed to cosmetic companies. We are looking for a new moisturiser, a new cleanser. Until I came to Spain, I would always sort of look at the department store and the big brands, and you see these beautiful glass pots with the gold lid, and this has been used by these celebrities. If I use this cream, I'm going to look like them. Well, I can read between the lines, that's not going to happen. The celebrity's been paid millions of pounds to promote this product. Since living in Spain and using the pharmacias, which I guess we would call chemists in the UK, half of a pharmacia here is really about skincare. And the other half deals with the medicine. And it's absolutely amazing, because when you're looking at what I call pharma skincare, it's a basic jar, bottle, aerosol, no fancy packaging, no celebrity behind it, and it's very, very basic, as in the container it comes in. It says what it does on the tin, and I so much believe you are getting more value for your money, because your money's in the product, because you're not got fancy packaging, and you're not,
absolutely, you're
paying the mortgage of some celebrity.
You're absolutely right. And Spain's model of pharmacy is very close to France, like very different to the UK, because I lived in the UK for many years. Like, I didn't see many independent pharmacies that sell pharma skincare. I guess if you wanted to buy the skincare that you can get here in the pharmacies in the UK, you'd have to go to big corporations, big stores that have those brands. But absolutely, and you know what, a lot of the brands that you can get in the pharmacy have sister brands that are these big, high-end, very expensive skincare, but they use the same lab, They use the same science and they use the same researchers to create these products. The skincare in the pharmacy is significantly less expensive than the one that you could find in a big department store, and actually it's as good as, obviously I'm biased, but it's as good as any of that you can find out there. There's fantastic brands. There's fantastic Spanish brands that are really pushing the boundaries of science and anti-aging and new molecules and new things they're discovering, and I'd say support those local Spanish brands is really important. We do in the pharmacy. We sell a lot of those Spanish, but as well as selling the big French brands, because the French brands are, 80% of the brands that we sell in the pharmacy are French. The cosmetics in France it's fantastic, and the way the French people buy their cosmetics is in the pharmacies. I've seen. I think it was Caudalie had an event in one of the pharmacies just off the Champs-Élysées in Paris, and there was a queue going round the block, and I was like, I want that for for us too.
In respect of pharmacy brands, when you go to a department store, you've got this very beautifully made up assistant in the store. She has got targets. Okay, she may give you advice, and I think whether you're buying skincare, whether you're buying makeup, as you say, a lot of these companies, they all come out of the same factory, and we're not going to name names, but it's coming out in social media. Okay, this is the high-end product, and there's this wonderful thing on YouTube called dupes. Okay, this is a Chanel XYZ. I have found this. Literally, the Chanel is going to cost you €25. I've found this for £6. The colour is virtually identical, and no, it hasn't got the very expensive click Chanel has got on a lipstick, for example.
Yes.
But it's virtually the same. And so many people now are doing these dupes. And a great one came out on skincare. There is a very famous brand called La Mer. And they have got a very, very expensive pot of moisturiser. And it was going around the internet that Nivea is produced in the same factory as La Mer, and people were testing it out, general public, and then laboratories got hold of it as well and were doing testing, and they were saying basically 85% of the ingredients are identical, and I think the only difference was some specific algae that was in the La Mer one that was different. But they said, to be totally honest, you're paying over €100 for a pot of La Mer, as opposed to in my local supermarket €8.25 for a generous sized pot of Nivea.
And I completely agree with that. There's definitely things like that, but just to look at the other side of the argument, the way the science and the investigation and that goes into these, now we've mentioned the name, we'll say it, the La Mer creams, is significantly bigger than it goes into other less expensive creams. So obviously that's got to be paid somewhere, and obviously like the advertisement and the marketing, also how you formulate it. For example, hyaluronic acid. You can say that a cream has hyaluronic acid, that's fine. And then this cream that costs €100 has hyaluronic acid, and this cream that costs €10 got hyaluronic acid. Same with retinol. For example, I've seen creams in supermarkets, retinols that cost €3, and we sell retinols that cost €50. They're not all the same in terms of obviously how they're formulated, not just the strength of that retinol, but just how it's formulated. It's very different because a sensitive skin has to have a retinol that's formulated in a specific way. And also the fact that if it's encapsulated retinol or it's pure retinol, that's very different. Those things cost money. Same with hyaluronic acid on a low molecular weight or high molecular weight. High molecular weight means it's going to stay in the surface, so it's great for hydration. Fantastic. But in a low molecular weight, it'll go straight into your skin, inside, and it will start working your wrinkles from the outside in. So you've got to look at how they're formulated. Even though they have the same ingredient, it's not this. It doesn't do the same for your skin.
Mentioned niacinamide, retinol, hyaluronic acid.
Yes.
It's difficult to even get my jaws around these things. Skincare has got incredibly scientific in the last, 5 years?
Yes.
Before, we would talk about a cleanser, a moisturiser, and maybe a toner. Now we're talking about chemical components, as you say, chemical ingredients. And I know when things like, hyaluronic acid came out, as soon as I hear the word acid, I think of a car battery.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm not putting that on my skin.
Yes.
And then when creams came out, a lot of people were saying, oh, I've been using this percentage and it's way too much for my skin. So again, it's talking to somebody, okay, let's talk about your skin. Is it sensitive?
Exactly.
Do you have rosacea?
Same as vitamin C, for example, is something that we should use. We should all use every day. Antioxidant, fantastic for the skin. But vitamin C can be highly irritant for sensitive skins. You need to be able to tell your client, ask your client what are their needs, but then what's their skin like, and how does it feel if you put certain products on. So there's an array of vitamin C's that you can give. For someone with resistant skin, I'd give them this one, and someone with sensitive skin, I'd give them this other one. And I'd put pure one, for example. There's vitamin C that's not pure, like retinol, same thing. That's great for oily skins, tolerate vitamin C, but the problem is it can obstruct the pores, it can dirty the pores.
Right.
For example, I used this new vitamin C that came out recently. It was pure vitamin C, and I just put a bit too much on, and it didn't itch my skin, it didn't irritate it or anything. But about an hour after, I looked at my pores, and they were on my nose, and they were all black. I should have put a lot less, or my skin type, I should use less. I should still use vitamin C, but not pure vitamin C, like stabilised vitamin C, not pure.
I think one thing that I have really realised living here, and I'm lucky that I know you and we're always having chats about skincare. If you go into a department store, you've got your big brands, and they've got the skincare, they've got the makeup, they've got the body creams, etc, etc. She's got a lot of information about lots of different things. If you talk to somebody in a pharmacia here and you're talking about pharmacia skincare, that's what they know. And as you said, you are always being trained by new products coming out by these brands. You are concentrating on skincare, not
efficacy
cosmetics.
of the product.
Exactly. And as you say, there's new stuff coming out all the time. And another thing is, you are paying for the product, not the fancy packaging, again, not the celebrity endorsements. Your €20, your money's going 90% of it into that
investigation of the product.
Exactly.
And investigating the next product, and they're reformulating products all the time. And also the European laws change rapidly in what products you can use and what products you can't use, what things you can formulate with, what additives, what excipientes, I don't know how you, well, things that I'd say additives, like how you formulate. You can't just put hyaluronic acid in a cream. You have to put them with other things that stabilise the formula and stabilise the texture and things like that. Well, those things sometimes are a bit controversial, have been in the past, controversial ingredients that are not good for the environment or good for the animals. Or in Europe with that, they're very fast in saying this thing is banned. They have to take all their products, reformulate them quickly. The laws are very strict here. And we were chatting earlier actually about the whole SPF 50 plus thing, and that is a European regulation. If you go to any store, you'll see that there's SPF 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever, and then 50 and 50 plus. Well, a 50 plus can be in reality an SPF 60, an SPF 90, an SPF 100, but the European regulation says you can only put SPF 50 plus, and that is it. For example, in the US, you can see SPF. I've seen it's SPF 60, SPF 70. So that's also all these brands. They're multinationals. So in each region of the world, they have to formulate different products and slightly different things. You're paying for all that stuff when you're buying a product, and You're paying for the science and the efficacy. I think when you go to a pharmacy, you're looking for something that's going to work. But recently, you're also looking for something that's going to work and feels good in your skin. I think people had, in Spain at least, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I'm only going to buy skincare in the pharmacy if my skin has a problem with it. Something wrong with it.
It's a bit like going to the doctor. You're going to a pharmacy because you've got a problem. Okay, I actually need, in theory, going to the skincare doctor.
Exactly. But now people just come because they just want to have more light in their face, or they want to have less wrinkles or more of a firming cream, and there's nothing wrong with their skin. They just want to work on a specific thing to make them look better and feel better. And that's where pharmacies are really pushing the boundaries, I think. Pharmacy skincare.
Yeah. I mean, there's one thing when we were talking about sort of the chemicals, niacinamide.
Yes, that's the one.
I should have practiced this before the podcast, particularly with vitamin C. I remember people, when vitamin C was the thing, I know a lot of people saying, oh, it worked for a little while and then it stopped working. People didn't realise you have to keep vitamin C in the dark. It's normally in a brown or a very dark, and you keep it out of the light.
Yes.
Because obviously the light will affect the
potency. I mean, in general, all cosmetics, you should kind of keep them out. You should always have them in a cool, not very humid space, like room temperature. Make sure that the bathroom you have them in, no direct sunlight is hitting them. Make sure it doesn't get too hot in that bathroom. And also, a thing with vitamin C, if it's pure, it's oxidized. It gets oxidized. So that's why vitamin C products have a very shorter PAO. And it's very important, we always tell a lot of our clients, make sure you use this within 3 months. Because if you leave it for 6 months and you open it, it will all be brown.
And it will smell.
It will smell and it'll be brown.
And you know it's gone off.
And you know it's gone off. Yeah. Whereas other products, hyaluronic acid you could have for 3 years. It's not going to do the same thing, but you can still put it on. I
mean, that's interesting what you say, in your bathroom, because if you think our bathrooms are hot, they're steamy, high traffic areas, it's probably the last place we want to put our lovely skincare.
I know.
We are buying high-tech products, and they have a shelf life, and they need to protect, as you say, from bright sunlight. Once you've got your skincare, look after your skincare. And then it will look after you.
Yes.
Is there anything else we need to cover about sun protection for our skins? We've talked about SPF, we've talked about applying it.
Last little thing now that's very current is blue light. The visible light spectrum, the blue light, all our screens emit.
Yeah.
It's kind of just recent. Since COVID, all these new documents about the damage that the blue light does in our skin. And, within the visible light spectrum, the blue light is the most intense light. And that's what all our screens emit. So I'd say anyone that has a phone or a laptop, a visible light, a blue light screen protector on it. There's been studies that causes hyperpigmentation and causes wrinkles. Still a lot of research to do with blue light, but since COVID there's been a lot of research being done, and there's now products that protect against blue light. That's really important also if you're a person that's constantly on your laptop, on your phone, look for sunscreen protection, blue light reinforced. There's a couple of brands that have specific products that are reinforced with blue light protection.
That's interesting, because my last question was going to be, what's the next thing coming out in the world of skincare? So it is this blue light protection.
I think wrinkles is the thing that people are, aging in general, we all worried about. But the second is hyperpigmentation. Wrinkles, you can treat them with skincare or you can treat them surgically. There's loads of options out there to do things to wrinkles, but hyperpigmentations are very complicated things. I think there's going to be a lot more research towards that area.
I think we have covered so much in this podcast, and I hope we could have taken out some of the mystery of SPF, applying your sunscreen, and that half bottle left from last year, slap it on your arms and your legs, that's fine. Put your money in protecting your face. That's where the money should go. We're always talking, you and I, when we get together, about skincare, but it's interesting for me moving from the UK to here that I have totally changed the way I look at skincare now, as opposed to the big brands in the department store. Some of the deals you get in Pharmacias, oh my God, I've got my list ready for when we get the sales in July.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, I've got my list, I know what I want, and you know, you often get a free gift with things like that.
Yes, free.
All the rest
They
of
do
it.
lots of packs with lots of little free gifts.
Yeah, you
and
need
stuff.
to give me some insider information as to when these things are becoming
Christmas and
available.
Black Friday is the one. Is the time to buy your products in the pharmacies.
I mean, Jesus, this has been absolutely phenomenal. We've been trying to do this for quite
Yes, we
some
have.
time.
We finally found a time.
We have done it. We've done it at the right time of year.
Yes.
Your skin is just fantastic.
Oh, thank you. So is yours.
Well, for my age, it's not that bad.
It's very good.
And I always say to people, I don't worry about my face because I don't have to look at it. But, you know, that's always my answer. I do the best I can for my age. And yeah, but I think even for me, moving to Spain, I have got so much respect for the sun, which I never had when I lived in the UK.
No.
People are going on holiday now. For goodness sake, sort out your skincare. I mean, I know there are Pharmacias in the UK, or chemists I should say, and they are starting to have the Pharmacia brands. I don't think it's anywhere near what it's like
but
here.
you know, even if you're going on holiday, and if you just buy whatever SPF, just put it on. Doesn't matter. Just
that's
whatever.
The thing. Buy it and use it.
Buy it and use it. If you buy it in a certain place, it's going to be better for you, or like it's better for the environment, and blah blah blah, and higher protection and better texture. But it does not matter at this point. If you're going on holiday to Spain, just in the airport, get whatever SPF you can find. If you're not into skincare, just get whatever SPF you can find and put it on.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's put on the skincare. Your face will thank you for it.
Yes.
Jesus, thank you for a brilliant, informative, fun podcast.
Thank you, Sheila, for having me.
You are very welcome, and I'll have to get you back to do a winter skincare special.
Go on. We'll
Would
talk
you
about
be up for
retinol
that?
and glycolic acid and all these
here
things
we go.
we need to use in the winter.
Okay, so we'll get you back for a winter skincare.
We'll do it.
Jesus, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation, and if you have a story to tell, please send me an email to the allaboutyoupodcast@yahoo.com and let's tell your story.